Well, Richard, I grew up in Wales. A lot of people in Canada, they hear my accent, you know, and they say, "Are you Irish?" And I say, "No, actually, I'm from Wales. I'm Welsh. I would have been Irish, but my ancestors couldn't swim." So I sort of break the mold with that. But I moved to Canada as a dairy farmer in 2000, and did that for a little while. It didn't turn out too well for me, and then I moved. That was at Cobden, and then I moved to Lake Dorey, and then to Douglas, and then to Renfrew. I lived in Renfrew for 4 or 5 years. Loved living in Renfrew, and then when I decided to become full-time as an entertainer, I moved to Almont because it's a lovely town there, just like all the Valley communities, and I settled there a couple of years ago. Most of my work, you're supposed to call it work, but it's not work, is entertaining at retirement homes and nursing homes, and a lot of those are in the Ottawa area, plus Pembroke and Renfrew and Arnprior as well. And so I'm very fortunate to be able to do what I do full time, and I just love every minute of it. I'm 58 and I've been telling jokes ever since. I used to get in trouble for doing it in school. But I've been doing it on stage since I was about 17 or 18 with the Young Farmers Organisation in Britain, and public speaking and things like that. And then I decided to write a few songs. And I wrote songs initially from jokes I'd heard. And the first song I ever wrote was called "The Cat Fell in the Milk Tank," because I was a dairy farmer. I heard the story about the cat looking for mice and saw a mouse in the milk tank, and the cat jumped in after it, and the farmer came along and he threw the dog in to get the cat and the mouse out, and then they were all in the milk tank, and so he thought, well, better get the boy. That was me, and threw me in as well. So that was the first song I've ever written, but most of my songs are comedic, but there are some serious ones as well. A song for seniors, I've written one for Remembrance Day, and I put on a variety show. Some old stuff, some newer stuff, but hopefully things that give people a good feeling, put a smile on their face. Sometimes you put a tear in their eye as well with things like Danny Boy or those songs, but I feel very privileged that I'm allowed to go into people's retirement homes, and I do a gentle care nursing home program as well for people with memory issues, which is a different type of show, but you know, everyone needs their time to be entertained, and I'm very, very lucky that I'm able to do it. Oh, it does everything. It makes my day every time I'm up in front of an audience. I'm a bit of a show-off like that. I try and make people laugh and feel good. I've got a wireless headset that I use, which means I can walk around the room and engage with the people. And I always want people to take part, and I seem to have the voice that people listen to, whether it's because they're trying to understand what I'm saying or what, I don't know, but I get huge satisfaction and pleasure. It's a blessing to be able to do it, and I intend to keep doing it for as long as I'm invited. I seem to be able to converse with the older crowd much better than the youngsters. You probably wouldn't put me in front of a group of 20 and 30-year-olds because it'd be a bit old hat for them. But I've got an old-fashioned sense of humor, and I tell clean stories that sometimes have got a bit of they put a twinkle in your eye. But I just find that Canadian seniors seem to be the people that I appreciate very, very much, and I seem to have a good rapport with them somehow. And it's just one of those things that I'm very grateful for.
Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land.
Well, people enjoy music in various forms, and it does bring something to your soul. Music, like laughter, is good for the soul, and it's also, especially in the older generation, it's a wonderful way that they can reminisce, because maybe I'll sing Lily Marlene or a Mac Beattie song or a Jim Reeves song, and people say, oh, and they'll often come up to me and say afterwards, thanks for that song, that's the one my parents used to sing to me. Or I remember my dad used to sing that to me, and one day we were fishing and we caught a big trout. And it brings back memories to all of us. So many of us can remember a certain feeling of what was going on in our time when a particular song is played. George Harrison, My Sweet Lord. I remember being in grammar school and I lost my pen, and I went to the headmaster, and this was when it was number one, and he gave me a choice of the pens, none of them were mine, but every time I hear that song I thought, my goodness, that's a lovely memory, you know?